My name is Olivia Carter. I'm 32 years old. If someone had told me that the man I loved more than my own life would divorce me because he saw me inside a room with my own cousin, I would have called them crazy, but that's exactly what happened. And the most painful part was that I wasn't guilty, not even a little. If you're listening to my story, please don't judge me too quickly, because sometimes what your eyes see isn't the truth, and one mistake can destroy an entire family. It all started on a cold Saturday afternoon in November. I still remember the exact date. November 16th. That morning, my husband Ethan left for work. Before leaving, he kissed my forehead. "I'll be home early. We'll celebrate your pregnancy tonight." I smiled. I was almost 3 months pregnant. We had been trying for nearly 4 years. Life finally felt perfect. Around noon, my cousin Jason suddenly called me. His voice was shaking. "Olivia, I need your help." My mom collapsed. I don't know what to do. Without thinking, I rushed to his house. When I got there, his mother had already been taken to the hospital. Jason was completely broken. He couldn't even stop crying. I took him inside the guest room, closed the door because dozens of relatives were standing outside asking questions. I simply wanted to calm him down. Nothing more, nothing less. But at that exact moment, the bedroom door suddenly opened. My husband was standing there. His face turned white, then bright red. His eyes moved from me to Jason and back to me. Neither of us had enough time to explain anything, because Ethan had already made his decision. Without saying another word, he turned around, walked out, and slammed the front door so hard the entire house shook. I had no idea that within the next hour, my marriage would be over, and I also had no idea that one hidden CCTV camera had recorded everything. I kept calling Ethan again, and again and again. 32 missed calls, not a single answer. I left voice messages. "Ethan, please listen to me. It's not what you think. Please, just let me explain." Nothing. That evening, I rushed home. His side of the closet was empty, his favorite watch gone, and even our wedding photo had disappeared from the wall. Only one envelope remained, lying on the kitchen table. My hands were shaking before I even opened it. Inside were divorce papers, already signed, already dated, along with a short handwritten note. "You don't need to explain. I saw enough. Don't contact me again." I couldn't breathe. 3 years of marriage, 4 years of trying to have a baby, one misunderstanding, and he threw everything away. I collapsed onto the floor, holding the divorce papers against my chest. That night, I cried harder than I ever had before, but the nightmare was only beginning. The next morning, my phone rang. It was my mother-in-law. For 1 second, I thought she might help me. I answered immediately. "Mom," before I could finish, she shouted, "Don't call me Mom ever again. My son told me everything, and I never thought you'd betray him like this." Tears filled my eyes. "I didn't betray anyone. You have to believe me." She laughed bitterly. "Believe you? He caught you inside a locked room with another man. What more proof do we need?" I tried to explain. Jason was crying. His mother had just collapsed. "We were only talking." She cut me off. "And save your lies for the judge." Then she hung up. Within hours, the entire family had turned against me. My phone kept buzzing, not with support, but with accusations. "How could you do this? You destroyed your own marriage. We trusted you." Some relatives even called me a disgrace to the family. Not one of them asked what had really happened. Meanwhile, Jason blamed himself for everything. He came to my house that evening. His eyes were red from crying. "I'm so sorry, Olivia. If I hadn't called you, this would have never happened." I forced a smile. "This isn't your fault. The truth will come out." At least, that's what I believed, but I had no idea that Ethan had already filed the divorce petition, and someone was hiding the one piece of evidence that could prove my innocence, the CCTV footage. 2 weeks later, I stood outside the family court, holding my growing baby bump with one hand and the divorce papers with the other. I had barely slept, not because I was afraid of losing my marriage, but because I still couldn't understand how the man who once promised to trust me forever never gave me 5 minutes to explain. When I walked into the courtroom, Ethan was already there. He never looked at me. Not once. His lawyer placed several printed photographs on the judge's desk. Pictures taken from outside Jason's house. One photo showed me entering the guest room. Another showed the bedroom door closed. A third showed Ethan standing outside the room. His lawyer spoke confidently. "Your Honor, my client personally witnessed his wife inside a locked room with another man. There is no trust left in this marriage." Every word felt like another knife in my heart. The judge turned toward me. "Mrs. Carter? Would you like to respond?" I slowly stood up. "Yes, Your Honor. I was never alone with another man for the reason they're suggesting. My cousin had just watched his mother collapse. He was completely devastated. I only entered the room to calm him down because dozens of relatives were surrounding him. There was nothing inappropriate." The courtroom became silent. Ethan finally looked at me. For a split second, I thought he might believe me. Instead, he shook his head. "I saw enough. I don't need another excuse." Those words hurt more than the divorce itself. Then something unexpected happened. Jason suddenly walked into the courtroom. Everyone turned toward him. His face looked exhausted. He walked directly to the witness stand. "I need to tell the truth." The judge nodded. Jason took a deep breath. "Everything Olivia said is true. My mother collapsed that afternoon. I was crying. She came only to help me. We were inside that room for less than 5 minutes. There was absolutely nothing between us." Ethan's lawyer immediately interrupted. "He's her cousin. Of course he'll defend her." Jason looked straight at Ethan. "I don't care if you believe me, but there's something else." His voice became stronger. "The entire hallway has CCTV cameras. I told the family to save the footage. It recorded everything." The entire courtroom became silent. Even Ethan's lawyer stopped writing. Ethan slowly raised his head. "CCTV?" Jason nodded. "Yes, it recorded every second. You'll see exactly why she entered that room, and exactly how quickly she came back out." For the very first time, I saw uncertainty in Ethan's eyes, but I still didn't know that someone had already tried to make that CCTV footage disappear. And when we found out who, everyone in that courtroom was left speechless. The courtroom fell completely silent. Everyone was staring at Jason. Even the judge leaned forward. "CCTV footage," Jason nodded. "Yes, Your Honor. The hallway camera recorded everything. I requested a copy 2 days after the incident, but when I went back, the footage had disappeared." A wave of whispers spread across the courtroom. The judge frowned. "Disappeared?" Jason slowly pulled out his phone. "I thought it was strange. So before I requested the footage, I recorded the security monitor with my own phone." Every head in the courtroom turned toward him. Ethan's expression changed. His confidence was slowly disappearing. The judge looked at the bailiff. "Play the video." Jason connected his phone to the courtroom screen. My heart was beating so fast I could barely breathe. The video started. There I was, running into Jason's house, exactly as I remembered. A timestamp appeared in the corner, 12:47 p.m. Seconds later, Jason opened the guest room door. I walked inside. The door closed. The courtroom became completely silent. Everyone kept watching. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then the door opened again. I walked out first. Jason followed a few seconds later. His eyes were swollen from crying. He hugged his aunt. Then both of us rushed outside and toward the hospital. That was it. Nothing else. Nothing inappropriate. Nothing even close. The entire courtroom froze. Ethan stared at the screen, unable to say a single word. Then Jason paused the video. "There's something else." He zoomed in on the timestamp. Just 30 seconds after I left, another man appeared on the screen. He walked directly to the security office. The judge narrowed his eyes. "Who is that?" Jason answered quietly. "The building manager. He deleted the original CCTV file." Everyone gasped. The judge immediately asked, "Why would he do that?" Jason slowly turned and looked straight at Ethan. "Because he was paid to?" For the first time, I saw fear in Ethan's eyes, real fear. His lawyer immediately stood up. "Objection! That's speculation." Jason calmly reached into his jacket. "I knew you'd say that. So I brought proof." He placed a small envelope on the judge's desk. Inside was a bank transfer receipt, a payment made the same afternoon from Ethan's personal account to the building manager. The courtroom exploded with whispers. Even the judge looked stunned. I looked at Ethan. His face had turned completely white, but what happened next was something none of us expected, because the building manager himself walked into the courtroom, and the first words out of his mouth changed everything. The courtroom doors slowly opened, every head turned. The building manager walked inside, his hands were trembling. He looked at the judge, then at Ethan, before lowering his head. The judge spoke first. "State your name." He did. Then came the question that changed everything. "Did you delete the original CCTV footage?" For several long seconds, he said nothing. The courtroom was so quiet, you could hear people breathing. Finally, he whispered, "Yes." A wave of shock spread through the room. Ethan suddenly stood up. "He's lying. I've never met this man." The building manager slowly turned toward him. "You did, and I wish I never had." The judge raised his hand. "Explain." The manager took a deep breath. 2 days after the incident, Mr. Ethan Carter came to my office. He said the footage could ruin his future. He offered me money. He only wanted one thing: the CCTV file deleted forever. My heart stopped. I looked at Ethan. He couldn't even look me in the eyes anymore. The manager continued. "I refused at first, but then he doubled the amount. I made the biggest mistake of my life." He reached into his pocket. "I've regretted it every single day." He handed the judge a small USB drive. I secretly saved a backup. I couldn't live with what I'd done. The judge immediately asked the technician to play it. The entire courtroom watched. This time, the video showed everything. Jason received the phone call about his mother. I arrived only minutes later. Jason was crying uncontrollably. I comforted him. Nothing more, nothing less. 3 minutes later, we both rushed out of the room together. Then the video showed something nobody expected outside the house. Ethan had already arrived. He never came inside. He never asked a single question. He watched us from the hallway, turned around, and left without even trying to hear the truth. The judge looked directly at Ethan. "So, you never actually asked your wife what happened?" Ethan's lips trembled. "No." The judge's voice became firm. "You destroyed your marriage based on your own assumption." Those words hit him harder than anything else. He slowly sat down, holding his head in his hands. For the first time since our marriage ended, I saw tears in his eyes. But what he said next was something I never thought I would hear. He stood up, looked directly at me, and said, "Olivia, I made the biggest mistake of my life." The courtroom became completely silent. The courtroom fell silent. Ethan stood frozen, unable to look me in the eyes. For the first time, his confidence was gone. Only regret remained. He slowly walked toward me. "Olivia, I'm sorry. I destroyed our marriage because I refused to trust you. I never gave you the chance to explain. I believed my own assumptions." Tears rolled down his face. I would do anything to change that day. I looked at him quietly. Months ago, those words would have meant everything. Today, they only reminded me of everything I had lost. I gently placed my hand on my baby bump. Our child deserves love, but love cannot survive without trust. The judge looked at me. "Mrs. Carter, would you like to say something?" I nodded. "When I needed you the most, you walked away. I called you, and I begged you, but you never listened. You chose one moment over 3 years of marriage." Ethan lowered his head. "I know. I'll regret it forever." Before he could continue, my mother-in-law stood up. She slowly walked toward me. Her eyes were filled with tears. "Olivia, I'm sorry. I judged you without knowing the truth. I failed you." She held my hands tightly. "I should have protected you." I hugged her, not because the pain had disappeared, but because carrying hate was becoming too heavy. Then she turned toward Ethan. "You didn't lose your wife because of another man. You lost her because you didn't trust her." The courtroom became completely silent. Ethan suddenly dropped to his knees. "Please, give me one more chance. I'll spend the rest of my life making this right." I closed my eyes. Every memory came rushing back. Our wedding, our dreams, the divorce papers, the lonely nights. Then I looked at him. "I forgive you." Hope appeared on his face, but I continued. "Forgiveness isn't the same as trust. Some hearts heal, but some scars never disappear." He quietly nodded. "I understand." The judge smiled gently. This court cannot decide your future. Only you can. I took one last look at Ethan. I truly hope you become the father our child deserves. But whether you become my husband again, that's a chapter only time can write. I turned around and walked toward the courtroom doors. I never looked back because sometimes the greatest act of love is finally choosing yourself. Tell me honestly, if you were Olivia, would you give Ethan a second chance?